Hello. I was making all those videos past day or so, like three of them, I think. Um, Man, I don't need. I'm gonna shave my head tomorrow. And shave my face too. But anyway, putting those videos up and everything, and it's just I realized too that those people there in Syria, they're really having some troubles. They're the people who are not in the middle of all this stuff against between the rebels and they evidently the rebels and the regime, I was supposed to say. And I believe if we really look at it, it's just you got terrorist groups on both sides of that, and whether the regime is Assad, whether they try to behave as if they're interested in the people, and they're excuse me, sorry, trying to protect them and everything, but really it's just I don't see it like that. It just doesn't seem to me as if they were trying to trying to truly care for those people, and if they did, they wouldn't be allowing them to be bombed that way, whether it's because of the rebels or the regime. They wouldn't use people as shields or whatever they're doing. I don't know what exactly, but it seems to me it's more of a Muslim thing. I mean, it was so sad to see all those people on there. You know what I mean? It's just so sad to see them basically suffocating, asphyxiating, gasping for air, and nobody can do nothing about it. Little kids on there crying their eyes out because they're afraid they're gonna die. And if if our government does anything to go against Assad for these so-called chemical attacks, whether he's done it or whoever's done it, they need to go and stay committed and go through all the way through the end, and not just a little slap on the hand. And that's for any other government, not just to try to take. It's a stupid thing to say no, don't use chemical weapons and not do something about the regime there. Because if you're gonna bomb them, you just as well go ahead and take out the regime. That doesn't make sense. Just to say no, 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 don't do that. We'll pop you in the butt if you go ahead if you use these chemical weapons or whoever. I think it's a little bit more than we see. You know what I mean? I think on both ends it's terrorist groups. I think on both ends it's people who are killing others, not just one group. Like Hamas, like Muslim Brotherhood, and like Al Qaeda, the rest of them. No, it's more than that. It's got to be. But if you're gonna do anything about it, might as well go ahead and follow through all the way to the end, and not just pop a side on the back of the hand. Because as we can see, he's not helping matters. Neither whoever's doing these chemical weapons, if they're not doing it, then somebody else is doing it. Whether it's the rebels, I don't know. But innocent people are being caught in the middle. Innocent little children are being caught in the middle of this thing. And so something needs to be done about it. The countries need to get together and do something about it, and not just the United States only. And it needs to be done soon rather than later, because these people are dying every single day. And it amazes me how the UN people haven't found anything yet. But the thing of it is that we bombed them, with Tomahawk missiles. Next thing you know, hit a depot or stockpile of these chemical weapons, and there's more trouble than you already had. More deaths, and not because of the explosions or whatever, but from the chemical agents. It's just outrageous. But mostly what my videos were for from the last time was basically saying this: if we, Russia said if we attack, if Iran is kind of agreeing, you attack, and then there could be consequences, And it seems to me that they would attack Israel, but we also know what it says in Ezekiel 38 and 39. I don't think that's before. In the midpoint of a tribulation or after the tribulation, 1,000 years. That's before. So you got, like I said last time, you got 3 wars. You got the one with Haman Gog, that war where some people come against Israel, and based on, I guess, something like this happening, retaliation against Syria for killing these people, or whoever it might have been, the rebels or whoever, or Bashir's, Assad's regime. Then you got countries retaliating, and next thing you know, they're hitting up on Israel because we hit an ally of theirs. And so somebody's going to die there too. A lot of graves they're going to have to be digging. Matter of fact, they're digging graves and nobody even knows who's who over there in Syria. They just bury mass graves. You know what I mean? People dying from these chemical attacks. It's pitiful. It's sad. It just broke my heart just watching these videos. These children gasping for air. These men and women. I was like, wow. I guess I really didn't realize how bad it was there until I really watched those videos, And anyway, might as well go ahead and follow all the way through with it. And if Russia wants to attack, if Iran wants to attack, then we have to be committed as to protecting the people there of Syria, and not just slapping him on the hand and said, "Don't do that no more." So in other words, his regime and whoever else is making trouble for the Syrian people who are innocent in this need to be taken care of in some way, fashion, or form. But anyway, it just all needs to come to a conclusion, and the conclusion might be Russia having a dissatisfaction in the matter being in backing people like Iran and Afghanistan. You have terrorist groups already. I think I made that statement in my other video. Terrorist groups out there already, in Afghanistan. So what would it matter to them if they teamed up with Iran and just started pounding on Israel? It wouldn't matter to them one bit. And you can see how that comes into play into Bible prophecy, just because of one country bombing their civilians, with this chemical agent, and how it would affect Israel. But anyway, it doesn't say that precisely in the Bible as far as Syria would be suffering as far as chemical agents, but it does say that Damascus would be desolate. Whether it meant it way back when or, in today's modern age. But anyway, I'd like to hear some thoughts on that. What do you think? I think if we get in the middle of this thing, we better commit all the way through, or don't get into it at all. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But I think, something like this will trigger a Gog and Magog war. And like I said, there's 3 of them, and there's the one before, evidently, rapture, tribulation. Then there's like a 7-year period when all this stuff that they left behind after they got killed over there in Israel are being used for 7 years, and it takes 7 months to bury all these bodies. And then you got Jesus coming on a mount, whenever all the nations come against Israel. So evidently, if the saints come back with him, then there must have been a rapture ahead of time, a gathering ahead of time. And then whenever Christ sets up as the millennial kingdom for 1,000 years, Satan will be loosed from the bottomless pit. He will go and get Gog and Magog again to stir up some more trouble. The same people 3 times. The 3rd time won't be no charm for them. Gog and Magog and all his bands. Nah. Yep. And that's whenever the great white throne judgment happened, and new heaven and new earth, and the judgment seat of Christ, and things like that, and the resurrection of the dead that who didn't believe in the Lord, after the tribulation period, the great tribulation. So something to think about in your Bible. Look in your Bible for yourselves. Read it for yourselves. See you later.